This is Tata, and welcome to AEW Dynamite Review.
All right, she's already botching.
Already botching. It's hi there. This is Tata, and welcome to the It's Wrestling Time post show. It is Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. And tonight, we'll be talking about AEW's 5th anniversary show. But I'm not alone. Joining me for this is none other than Michael 101591.
Thank you once again, Datilla. How you guys doing? Great to be here.
You? All right. So, a few things happened tonight. Let's kick things off talking about this MVP interview. He was set to make an announcement, and as we know, last week when he debuted, he interrupted Prince Nana, and Prince Nana was not too happy about that. So Prince Nana reminded everybody that he used to be a professional wrestler, and he said he's ready to lace up his boots. But that ended up revealing the debut of Shelton Benjamin. So it's kind of obvious that the Hurt Business is coming to AEW. The only one missing is Bobby Lashley. So it's only a matter of time, I think, before we see Bobby Lashley. And I will say this. Darby Allin, he made an open challenge tonight. What if for Wrestle Dream, what if Bobby Lashley debuts at Wrestle Dream as Darby Allin's opponent?
I was going to say that as well. I think we're going to get Bobby Lashley at Wrestle Dream. That's when he'll make his debut.
Definitely. But what did you think of Shelton Benjamin debuting tonight?
I kind of saw it coming, considering that MVP made his AEW debut last week. I was like, all right, we're going to get Bobby Lashley appearing tonight, or we're going to get Shelton Benjamin. And obviously, we saw that it was Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, I'm glad they went with Shelton because I feel like they wanted you save Bobby Lashley for the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot wait to see what this stable does, what this faction does in AEW. So we have to wait and see.
But I really would like to see, Bobby Lashley versus Darby Allin at Wrestle Dream, or as the Tiller said last week, Darby Allin.
You're not gonna let me live that down, are you?
No. It was just hilarious, though.
I don't even know why I said Arby.
Yeah, she had Arby's on her mind, folks.
I've never even had Arby's, and I don't know why there's an Arby's around here.
Oh, wow.
All right, so next week, let's talk about Hangman Adam Page versus Juice Robinson. Now, these two, they went at it even before the match started.
Mm-hmm.
Which I actually really liked. But, you had Juice hitting Hangman with the popcorn bucket. He threw, I believe, beer at him.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy.
He used the strap.
The strap. Mm-hmm. That cannonball through the barricade. That was insane.
That was great.
Yeah, it was. Overall, I thought this was a decent match.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent match as well. Was it great? No, but it was kind of interesting.
Hangman wins after he hits a low blow and a buckshot lariat to Juice Robinson. And at the end is where things got a little interesting. Jay White makes his long-awaited return to help Juice Robinson. Now, you have to remember, Jay White hasn't wrestled since the July 6th edition of AEW Collision when he lost to Adam Page in the semifinals of the Owen Hart tournament. So it makes sense that he came after Hangman.
Yeah. And I don't know if this was just an appearance here by Jay White. I don't know if he is fully cleared to compete since, since he last appeared 3 months ago on Collision. But we got to see if he is, if he is cleared or not to compete.
Yeah, we don't know anything. I haven't seen anything be reported if Jay White is cleared to compete, but I guess we'll find out. I definitely do think
But
with
this is going to be your next feud.
yeah, this is definitely gonna be your next feud. I don't think this much happens at Wrestle Dream with it being next week. I mean, who knows? Depending on Jay White's if he's able to compete or not. But
Now,
this is definitely
if
huh?
if he is able to compete,
Mhm.
I without a doubt seeing this match happen at Full Gear.
Yeah, I could see that too. All right. So tonight's Dynamite kicked off with the Blackpool Combat Club promo. And they're basically talking about how it's like a war. There's like a war going on among them. And basically, John Moxley says that he's going to relieve Bryan from duty and will send Daddy home for good on October 12th, which is the date of Wrestle Dream. Remember, Wrestle Dream is taking place in Tacoma, Washington, Bryan Danielson's home state.
Mhm.
So, what did you think of this?
I thought this was a good promo from the Blackpool Combat Club. Very weird, very weird of not seeing Wheelie Yuta with them, but I thought this promo delivered from the Blackpool Combat Club.
I had to agree. I thought it was a good promo. I know I'm not the biggest fan of Marina Shafir, but I thought it was a nice added touch that she spoke in her language here.
Yeah, but I didn't even know what kind of language she was speaking in though.
I think it was Bulgarian.
Mm.
I have to double check that. But this was good. So we get a backstage segment with Will Ospreay, and it's very interesting, and I think it's very telling, that Don Callis is about to talk to him right before his match, but then he says, "Oh, they got a flight to catch," and Takeshita seems to have stayed behind, or did he? We'll talk about that when we get to the end of the match. And he's just not happy with Will Ospreay. He hasn't been happy with Will Ospreay since Don Callis has kind of like brought him back into the fold. So I thought that was an interesting, and this plays into what happens in the match, which this leads into the AEW International Title match: Ricochet versus Will Ospreay.
Mm. Now
What do you think of this segment?
I thought this segment was was okay. Obviously, I knew that Takeshita was going to stick around, which
Mhm.
we will get to talking about that.
So this match was actually my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, I thought this was a good match as well.
Yeah, this is a fantastic match. I really like Ricochet and Will Ospreay are so evenly matched when it comes to styles. Like I like how Ricochet did the Hurricanrana off the barricade and then the senton. You had Ricochet doing the ox cutter.
I liked how they end up matching, each other's moves at that one spot where they did like the
Same.
flip and like that.
Ricochet also did the hidden blade. This was actually really, really great. Um, the crowd was split. They were going, "Let's go Ricochet, let's go Will Ospreay." This was great. I actually really enjoyed this match. I hope,
And
and based on
I'm
the way it
surprised that this
ended,
wasn't the main event.
yeah, I thought this was gonna main event, but it didn't. So an interesting thing happens, and I actually like the finish. You had the reverse Hurricanrana to Ricochet, and then Ricochet does it to Will Ospreay. Ospreay hits Ricochet with the hidden braid, and then both shoulders, like both men, are down. But the ref counts to three. The match ends in a draw, which I thought was an interesting way to end it.
I
But
thought it
I
was
feel like,
lame.
yeah, I can see why you think that, because you want a clear winner. But obviously, I feel like they didn't want to have Ricochet beat Will Ospreay so early. So it's like, but then again, it's like, why make the match this early if you didn't want to have him beat Will Ospreay?
True.
But it made for an interesting finish because then the match restarted and Takeshita came out and attacked Will Ospreay. He even attacked Ricochet too, and he made his attention known. He grabbed the international title and held it over Ospreay. So again, begs the question: did Takeshita attack Ospreay on his own, or was it on the order of Don Callis?
I have to say it was probably on the. I was gonna say the order of Don Callis, but I think now that I think about it, I think that Takeshita just attacked him on his own. Maybe Takeshita wants a shot at the international championship.
I think he does too, but just based on the story that they've been telling, Takeshita was not too happy with Will Ospreay bringing into the fold. And like I said last week, technically you can make the argument that Will Ospreay cost them the tag titles because he refused to allow Kyle Fletcher to use that screwdriver.
Yes.
So I could see Kyle Fletcher being upset with Will Ospreay.
I can see sense that.
And I can also see Don Callis being upset with Will Ospreay, especially since he left the Don Callis family,
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Don Callis is behind all of this.
Maybe.
Yeah. We just gotta wait and see. But I think he's behind all of this. I think this is definitely going to lead to Takeshita versus Will Ospreay. I don't know if it'll happen so quickly at Wrestle Dream. But if it doesn't happen at Wrestle Dream, I definitely do think this is going to be the Full Gear match.
Yeah, I could definitely sense this happening at Full Gear. But I gotta say, the finish of this, it was kind of like lazy booking, in my opinion.
Okay. You get a Mercedes Mone interview, and it's basically she wanted to put together AEW Dynamite's best moments, and it's all her moments in AEW. Now it's interesting that MVP interrupted her and said he loves big business and gave her his business card. So I wonder if he wants to recruit Mercedes Mone into the new version of the Hurt Business. Personally, I don't think she needs to be a part of the new Hurt Business. I think she should just do her own thing.
Yeah, I mean, like we don't need Mercedes a part of that.
Yeah,
and I think Mercedes is, the stuff that she's doing right now is just very boring.
So next you get the Guns, and before they don't get to talk much because Hangman attacks him with the steel chair during this interview. I'm really liking unhinged Hangman here. Like he's gotten even more unhinged.
Yeah, I agree.
Because remember, like he was supposed to face Juice Robinson later on in the night, and with the Guns out of the equation, there would be no one to help Juice. But as we all know, JY returned during that.
Mm-hmm.
We had the TV time segment. I was not a huge fan of this. I did not like this at all. The whole point of this is that Chris Jericho challenged Mark Briscoe to a match at Wrestle Dream, which Mark Briscoe accepted. I will say though, Jericho's line about Mark not being able to beat him, but maybe Jake could, I thought that was good. That was like my only favorite part of this segment.
Yeah, I liked it as well though, but still, this segment was absolutely awful.
Yeah,
absolutely dreadful.
Okay, Simon Cowell.
Lauren Tree needs to get off TV, please, Tony Khan. Do us a favor and get them off TV.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of having to mute my TV all the time when they come out.
So we already talked about the Darby Allin. We both think that Bobby Lashley is debuting at Wrestle Dream. We talked about the Hangman Page match. So let's talk about Jack Perry. Basically, Shibata challenges him for the TNT title at Wrestle Dream, and he ends up attacking Shibata and accepting his challenge.
I like how Shibata uses I think like
the translator app.
Yeah, the translator. Yeah, the Siri translator.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's since he speaks maybe like Japanese, it's good that he types it in and it translates.
Yeah,
that's a smart idea. Better than having them use subtitles for him
or a translator,
mm-hmm.
or like like a mouthpiece, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a really unique idea. So you get a Bryan Danielson promo, and he's basically saying, fuck John Moxley. But he talks about how Okada hasn't broken his spirit yet, but he's broken his arm and fractured his orbital bone. But he wouldn't have it any other way because tonight he was fighting for his title and his career. What'd you think of this?
I thought this was, pretty decent.
Yeah, I felt like it was your typical Bryan Danielson promo.
Yeah, typical Bryan Danielson promo where, he just knows how to cut a good promo.
Mm-hmm. So next we get the Professor of Wrestling, Serena Deeb versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
In her hometown.
In her hometown of Pittsburgh, or as they like to say, Britsburg.
Pittsburgh. The yellow towels.
This was an okay match.
Yeah. It was meh, in my opinion.
So we got this match, but yet we haven't gotten my dream match. I would definitely like to see my dream match. I would like to see Serena Deeb versus Deonna Purrazzo.
The Virtuosa.
The Virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo in a 30-minute Iron Woman match. I definitely would like to see Deonna Purrazzo versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, too, at some point.
That's why AEW needs to book a pay-per-view in Pittsburgh, and then possibly that's when we'll get it.
But Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, wins by submission. And then she gets attacked by Serena Deeb, and Queen Aminata comes out to save her. So, maybe a temporary alliance with... I could definitely see Serena... Well, I was going to say a tag match, but I forgot nobody came out to help Serena. She was out there by herself.
Maybe they do a handicap match.
Why? Maybe they just pair Serena Deeb up with someone, and it'll be Britt Baker and Queen Aminata versus Serena Deeb and her partner.
I was gonna say, they pair Serena Deeb with Britt Baker, and they'll pull the whole Vince McMahon. Oh, can they coexist?
I could see that happening. And then Mariah May was in the crowd watching.
Gotta have Mariah May there.
Yeah, she's your women's world champion. All right, so we get a Hook interview, and he's like legitimately upset because his dad was attacked and injured earlier in the night. We don't know who did it.
Before the show started.
Yeah, before the show started, we don't know who did it. So I feel like this is setting up an angle for Hook. But I'm trying to think.
A lot of people online, I saw they predicted it. Maybe Hook was the one who attacked Taz.
That's such a WWE thing, though. That's such a WWE move.
A lot of people are predicting that.
You know what? At this point, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the route they go. Because that's usually always the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
The person who finds the person that got attacked is usually the person that attacked them.
Yeah, of course.
So, I could see that. But if Hook attacked his dad Taz, are we gonna see father versus son?
Maybe.
Probably not a Wrestle Dream, but maybe.
No.
Where's Hook from again?
New York.
New York. What part of New York?
Red Hook. I know it's where Taz is from, but.
And Taz is from Brooklyn. And remind me where Full Gear is?
Full Gear is in Jersey.
In Jersey. Okay, so So Hook and I know it's not technically New York. It's New Jersey.
They like to pull that whole New York, New Jersey thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. So I could definitely see Hook versus Taz at Full Gear, father versus son.
I think why they're possibly doing this because he had to give back the FTW championship to his father and have it be retired.
Yeah, we never got an explanation as to why he retired the belt, though. He just decided to retire it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I could definitely see that being the reason, the motivation here.
But I'm like, are we really gonna see Taz get back in the ring?
Maybe. For a match.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Like a little passing of the torch.
Yeah, same. So Christian Cage cuts a promo and he talks about how he basically vows to be the next world champion. This was like, a decent promo. It's your typical Christian Cage promo.
Yes, I thought there was, a decent promo from Christian.
Yeah.
Guy obviously knows. We all know he cuts a good promo.
Yeah. So Mariah May is being interviewed, and I really like the fact that she brings up all the titles that Willow has lost: the TBS, CMML, the fact that she lost the Owen, and then Willow confronts her and it leads to a brawl. I definitely do think this is leading to Mariah May versus Willow, maybe at Wrestle Dream.
Yeah. I mean, who was excited to see that?
He says, I didn't think Taz would be able to compete in a match. I seem to remember he said online a while back that he wasn't able to wrestle anymore.
Change of decision, maybe. Who knows?
Hey, if Adam Copeland and Saraya can come back after those neck injuries, maybe Taz can come back.
There's luck.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. We get Private Party versus Iron Savages. I didn't care for this.
Wash.
I didn't care for this. I don't know why this match was on here. But we did see that Stokely Hathaway was watching backstage, so maybe he's going to have him manage.
Private Party.
Yeah, Private Party.
They went from Matt Hardy and now possibly to Stokely Hathaway.
Yeah. So they basically call out the Bucks, and of course, typical heel fashion, the Bucks do not give them a title opportunity tonight. But we are gonna get a trios match pairing the Bucks versus Shibata and Private Party. What'd you think of this?
I thought it was, all right though. I mean, like, was anybody asking for this match?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, real quick before we go any further, I totally remembered. Didn't Chris Statlander beat Willow Nightingale?
Yes.
Then why the hell is Willow Nightingale getting the opportunity at Mariah May, not Chris Statlander?
Exactly. Typical TK booking.
I was like, wait a second. That should be Chris Statlander.
Yeah, exactly. And we're getting Will Nightingale.
Yeah.
Did TK not remember that Chris Statlander beat Will Nightingale?
Oh, I don't have it anymore. No, I don't have it anymore. I got rid of it because I felt like I didn't need it, but now I need it. The X-Men, Men in Black neutralizer.
The Men in Black neutralizer.
Insert the Men in Black neutralizer right here. Everybody forgot about that.
Yeah. I wish they used that in X-Men.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. We went from RB last week now to X-Men.
Yeah. But anywho, yeah, that totally does not make sense that she's getting the match.
Yeah.
All right, so we already talked about the MVPs introducing us, and let's talk about this main event. It was a title for title. It was the AEW World title versus the AEW Continental title. Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada for the first 20 minutes of the match. The Continental title was on the line. I didn't mind this match. I thought it was a decent match. Bryan Danielson ended up winning this, but you could tell Okada seemed to blame Pac and Claudio because they had emerged from the crowd for his loss. Mm-hmm. And after this, I just felt like the ending to Dynamite, the 5th year, felt really flat because you basically...
And it felt long.
Yeah, but the whole ending segment was for Wheeler Yuta to make up his mind and to set up Bryan and Yuta versus Claudio and Pac next week on Title Tuesday. I did not really like this ending, but what were your thoughts on the match and the ending to this show?
Match was good, but it just went on too long. By the time the match was over, it was like 10:26, so they went overtime. Normally,
Mhm.
Dynamite is over like around like 10:05 because they do that overrun. Normally that's the time that it ends. But I'm like, oh, is this gonna end like at 10 after 10 or 10:15? No, it ended, around there, like 10:25, 10:26,
Yeah,
around there.
exactly.
And I'm like, man, this show is still going.
So overall, I really like the fact that throughout the night we got like little moments in the 5 year history of AEW. And real quick, before we end the show and before we rank the show, I just want to talk about like it's so crazy how 5 years went by so quickly. Like I remember watching the first Double or Nothing. And I remember the debut episode of AEW Dynamite.
Saying I reviewed it on my channel. It's still up.
You know what's crazy? So I wasn't even reviewing wrestling at that time yet.
Yeah,
I hadn't came back to YouTube yet. And
and I didn't even know this one right over here
yeah,
yet either.
it's so crazy how so much has changed within wrestling over the last 5 years.
Hmm.
You know, um
I feel
we
like
also
that AEW has kind of, lost a little bit of their luster in like these years. It's not as hot. They are not as hot as they were in like year one, year two.
and I think part of the reason for that is because for and you can feel free to disagree with me on this. Anybody watching can feel free to disagree. But I feel like part of the reason for that is because during those times, WWE creative sucked. And I
Of
feel
course,
like
you had Vince in
no
charge.
matter what if AEW did during that time, everybody would have liked it. Everybody would have like been like, okay, this is better than what we're getting on WWE. But now that the tables have turned and that WWE is great, I feel like it seems like now AEW has lost its spark, like you said.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah, because of course Vince was in charge still when AEW was, you know, when AEW debuted, and now, and everybody thought that was the AEW was the I would just say it was kind of like the can't think of the word, but it was kind of like
The hottest thing in town.
the hottest thing in town. Yeah, it was like it was like another show to watch than WWE. But
Yeah, and again, what's crazy is like I remember like the first couple of shows, like All Out. I mean, yeah, All Out
all out.
in Chicago. Like it sold out. It was like really hard to get those tickets. Now, if you look at Wrestle Dream, you can still get tickets.
Hmm.
So it's so crazy how much time has changed, has how much time has gone by in
Yeah,
5 years, and how much.
AEW has not been selling out their shows like they used to. I
Yeah.
mean, look at the tickets that they sold for Grand Slam. 7,000 tickets, or 7,000 people were in attendance this year
Hmm.
at Arthur Ashe Stadium,
Yeah.
compared to the other 3 years.
But real quick, I don't want to completely talk about this new streaming deal. So real quick, I do want to say that in spite of all everything that's been going on with AEW, according to Variety, they did manage to pull an upward 150 million per year when all elements are taken into account. That's the value of the new deal. And under this new deal, Dynamite and Collision will remain on TBS, TNT, respectively, but will stream on HBO Max simultaneously, which is a huge plus for people that don't have cable,
Hmm.
starting in January 2025. And then also, two, apparently the pay per views will be at a discounted price rate later on in 2025. What that means, I don't know yet. But
I
hey,
think that means
congrats.
that you could watch that you could stream their pay per views live on Max, maybe.
Yeah, if you have a Max subscription, probably.
Good, good.
But
I could stop watching it on a stream, on another site. Good.
but
Thank you.
congrats to AEW for that, for getting their TV deal.
I'm glad. Congrats to Tony Khan. Congrats to everybody that works in AEW.
Yeah, big congrats to them. They were the I think that a lot of people, like if I remember correctly, there was so much doubt AEW could succeed. There was even so much doubt they would even last a year. Look at them; they're still going strong 5 years later. I hope they continue to go strong for many years to come.
And people are
But
calling them a T-shirt company.
yeah, t-shirt company, yeah.
Yeah,
So
where are those people now that said that?
yeah, exactly. But like I said, hopefully AEW is here to stick around long term.
Hopefully, they definitely will. I don't see
Yeah,
them going. I don't see them going the way how WCW went. So
exactly. But with that being said, on a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10, what would you rank tonight's show?
this show to me was a 2 out of 10. I
Really?
did not
Dang.
like this show. This show was awful. This show did not even feel special as a 5 year anniversary show. I was expecting Tony Khan would just go out there and give us a special, Dynamite, considering, it's their 5th year anniversary show. He would go all out for it. But overall, what we got was just a regular Dynamite show.
Honestly,
And
like,
and it just felt very long. Like towards the second hour, it just felt, uninteresting. And Okada versus Bryan, that overrun was just absolute killer.
I have to say though, like tonight's Dynamite just felt like a run of the mill Dynamite. There was nothing, I didn't feel anything really special about it. I did like I said, the clips that were celebrating the 5th year, but I thought this was gonna feel like Dynamite episode 1, and this didn't feel like that, you know? On a scale from a 1 to Sean Spears perfect 10, I have to give this a 5. There were some things I liked. I did like the international title match. I did like Hangman versus Juice Robinson. And I did like the main event. But aside from that, I really didn't find any. I really disliked a lot of the stuff that happened here. I feel like had this been your run of the mill Dynamite, I would have been a little bit more generous. This is your 5th anniversary show. You want to deliver a
You
great
want to
show.
go all out on it,
Yeah, you want to go all out, pun intended.
pun intended.
Yeah,
But
but I just,
it just was a failure.
yeah, definitely.
Tony Khan failed.
Yeah, this show did not live up to the hype. Maybe Title Tuesday next week will be much better.
And they're going up against NXT.
That's gonna be fun. All right, Michael, as we get ready to sign off, where can people find you? Do you have any upcoming stuff that you want to promote?
Well, you guys can find me on my channel here, Michael101591. I do movie reviews. I do AEW reviews. I do WWE PLEs. When they come around, I do DVD, Blu-ray, 4K updates. I have old school commercials on my channel. So if you're very nostalgic and if you love stuff from the '90s, early 2000s, definitely check out my channel. Did not review Dynamite because the show was absolutely awful tonight. Why would I waste my time reviewing this show tonight? But thank you to Tilla for having me on our show, and it's the shortest that I covered this show tonight because the show did not deserve a long review from me tonight. So I really appreciate the Tilla for having me on. And also, tomorrow on my channel, me and Attila will be doing our Bad Blood predictions because, of course, Bad Blood is this Saturday. So definitely check out my channel tomorrow with me and Attila going over our predictions for Bad Blood.
Well said, Michael. All right, as for yours truly, you can follow me on Twitter at @the_. I talk about things wrestling, WWE, AEW, TNA. I go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, occasional Saturdays and Sundays. For all things TNA, make sure you check out Body Slam every Thursday. Unfortunately, this Thursday, there will not be a TNA post show due to the hurricane. TNA was not able to film this past weekend, so they will be doing a Best of Bound for Glory episode this Thursday. So definitely the TNA pusher will be back next week. I did get my AEW Upper Deck card, so
Awesome.
I will be filming an unboxing hopefully within the next week or so. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you check that out when I'll let everybody know when it's out. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching, for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And like Michael said, we'll be doing predictions on his channel. And then I'll also be doing predictions with A Plus Here Report with the WrestleManiacs as well. So if we don't see you guys tomorrow on Michael's channel over at WrestleManiacs, I definitely will see you guys here Friday after SmackDown. Bye.
See you guys.